GetLowered, thanks again for tuning in to yet another video. I am going to be showing you how to put your bike in auto tune. So let's say you got your tune from Flo-Moto. The bike's not running that great, and let me tell you, it's not going to run that great. It's going to take a couple miles, maybe a couple 100 miles for your bike to really start being responsive and handling like you would picture a stage 2 114 or 117, whatever you got, how it should handle. But it's gonna need auto tuning. You can't just throw in these canned tunes and expect it to be the be all when it comes to a stage 2 bike. I mean, every bike's different. I've always mentioned this in these videos. Every bike's different. The altitude and the climate around you, there's a lot of things that affect your bike. Temperature is one, altitude is one, and what you have on your bike, the 2-in-1, a long pipe, short pipe like this one. This is an SPC, it's a short pipe. So as far as getting a tune, you would have to do auto tuning. All right, if you're not planning on going to your local tuner, which I believe you should, because that's going to give you the best performance. I think that's the best performance for your buck. All right, $600. We're talking potentially. Have you guys seen the Cruzy original? If you guys seen the Ryan Cruzy video where they tuned his 117, his 2024 117, they were able to get big numbers. All right, they were able to get about an additional 30 horsepower and additional like 17 foot-pounds of torque with just the dyno tuning, which is massive. Those are massive numbers. When I talk about the numbers, I typically say somewhere between 10 to 15 horsepower or 10 to 15 foot-pounds of torque. For Trask and Ryan to get 30 additional horsepower from just dyno tuning, that is well worth the $600. All right, so let's go ahead and look at how would you activate your dyno jet if you have it. I'm not sure the PV4. I don't have a PV4. I have the PV2. This is PowerVision 2 from DynoJet. So let's go ahead and just look at how we're going to set this up. So I don't know if the camera's going to be picking this up. Maybe if I hold it a little bit closer. So we're going to go all the way back to the main menu. We're going to go to Program Vehicle, Auto Tune, and then we have to enable the Auto Tune. So we got to hit Enable Auto Tune. We have to select the one that you're using. I am currently on this one. That's my like I said, this is my third Auto Tune. So we're going to go ahead and select the first one. You guys would have to select whichever one you're using or whichever one you went ahead and you named it. If you guys seen my video on how to send the tune, then you guys know which one you should be using. So we're going to select that one. It's going to ask you what type of sensors do you have. I have narrow band sensors. If you have wide band sensors or target tune, then you would select that one. I spoke to DynoJet. They told me target tune is what they recommend, but $500, $600, that's a little rich for me. Depending on what you're looking at, I would rather just have the tuner or the dyno tune or the professional do it at that price, $500, $600. This will modify the tune for auto tune and will load onto your vehicle. The vehicle must be connected. Yes, continue. Right, so there it is. Please turn your key off and wait 10 seconds. So let's go ahead and turn that off. You guys can see that we can't touch any of these buttons yet, so we have to turn it off. We have to give it 10 seconds. It cycles, it resets the flash or whatever, the map, or it sets up your O2 sensors for auto tuning. And like I mentioned, this is something that you're going to have to do if you're getting a map from Flo-Moto, mainly because there's just a lot of things to consider. Like I mentioned, the altitude, the weather, the climate, and just what you got on the bike. All right, so this Flo-Moto tune that I got from Flo-Moto, they know I have a short pipe, they know I have a high flow air filter, they know I have a 475, they know I have a 64 intake, and they know I have the Screaming Eagle injectors. So has it been 10 seconds? Let's just give it a couple extra seconds just in case. So let's go ahead and turn the bike on. My audio system's gonna kick in right now. I like this GVC. Yeah, I like this JVC amp. It auto connects and it starts playing music. So now we're gonna go to program vehicle, auto tune, and then we could, you know, hit the data log, and it's gonna start filling in these little blocks with information. It's gonna be adding fuel, removing fuel, adding fuel. So it's gonna be looking for a sweet spot that Flo-Moto already has this set. You guys can see how it's you know, calculating everything, and it's already set to the Flo-Moto. I'm not sure what they have it to. Basically, a air fuel mixture that Flo-Moto has on the bike. So as far as their numbers, I don't know. From what I understand, they want it somewhere like around 14 or 13. I really don't know. I'm not an expert in this stuff, but you can see that the Power Visions are already calculating where it needs to add more fuel or less fuel. All right, and the goal is to fill in all of these little blocks up to 99. So it's got limitations because of the narrow band sensors. It's not able to, you know, fully adjust because it's got the narrow band sensors. If you have, of course, the wide band sensors, it's able to make bigger adjustments. So you guys can see RPM and throttle position. So the top section is throttle position sensor. That is basically where the throttle blade kind of goes in. You guys can see where it kind of filled in all those little holes, those little blocks. So if you're just starting the bike, the tuner knows that it can't make adjustments until it's up to operating level. So you can also see the engine temp right on top. ET engine temp. Once you pass 170 degrees, that's when it starts making all the adjustments. So the goal here is to, of course, fill in as many blocks as possible, and, you know, try to put them at 99%. So you guys can see where it's making all the adjustments. It's, you know, it's giving little hints here and there. The bike's gonna run a little rough. I mean, it's not gonna be absolutely terrible because I've already had a few sessions of auto tuning. I'm already on this would be my 4th auto tune you know, trip. Now they do recommend doing, like, you know, just at least 20 minutes of riding. They don't recommend you riding like this at all times, but what they do, you know, want minimum, if you're looking for minimum, to at least log on at least 20 minutes of ride time every auto tune session. That way you don't have the bike on auto tune at all times. I don't think it's gonna hurt it, but I mean, it saves all the information, and that's what I like about it. If it was up to me, I would just keep it on auto tune, but it's also nice, you know, having the bike handling a little bit more normal and a little bit smoother compared to when it's always in auto tune. So you guys can see we're starting to fill in some of the other blocks at the higher end because we're moving up on RPM. Sorry guys, because we're moving up on the RPM levels and the throttle position. Let's see. And that's pretty much it. All right, so here we are. It's been a while. Let's say you've already logged on some miles. So let's go ahead and turn on the bike. Of course, your auto tuning stays connected during the whole time of your riding it. So right now I turned it off. Obviously you guys can see it. I got off of work about an hour and a half ago. I'm gonna turn the bike on. We're going to see what the auto tune says. Like I said, I've already logged 41 miles today. And
because you like the way my
we gotta turn that down, of course. So we're gonna go to program vehicle, and then you're gonna go to auto tune. Like I said, when you shut it off, turn it back on, it's still gonna save. So you guys can see I still have all that information on my auto tuning session 35.0. It's been saved. So you can shut it off, turn it off, shut it off, doesn't matter. It saves all that information. So we've hit 171 blocks, cells, the little blocks, and then it's giving us an average 1% to 11% max. So these are narrow band sensors. I'm not entirely sure. So of course we could go to data log, turn it back on, and keep on learning. You can reset the learn, so erase all of the information. You shouldn't do that though. So we're going to export learned, and you can't export when the bike is on. It has to be pretty much the way you see here. It's got to be turned off in the on position, not turned on. So this will apply all learned values to the tune and save it to custom tune slot. So we're going to select it. It's going to give us a little heads up that it's noticed VE values over 125. The cap is 127.5. So it's going to ask you if you want to scale or cap at 127.5. So if you want to scale, you got to have pretty much all the blocks filled in. I'm nowhere close to having all the blocks filled in. I say about 60%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go cap. So that's what I've been doing the last couple sessions. So we're going to save it under slot 1. That's our current learning. If you want, you can select it. You can select the second one and then keep that one saved in case you prefer going back to the old tune. So we're going to select that one because I'm okay with the bike's feeling, but I'm going to keep on auto tuning. So so it's going to give us, of course, to confirm that we want to save on slot 1 and overwrite slot 1. Warning, if there's any data in this slot, it will be overwritten. So okay, we're going to save it, and then of course auto tune has been saved to slot 1. So now it's, instead of being 35.0, now it's 36.1, and you can keep on auto tune. That's what I noticed with this recent update, which is neat, because you can keep on auto tuning, keep on. And what I mean is, before you would flash the ECM, write it, turn the bike on, and then you would have to enable the auto tune again. So this one, you could go straight into your next session of auto tuning, which is neat. This one, flash only, you could select this one if you're planning on not doing any auto tuning. But then of course, if you want to do auto tuning, you'll have to go start, from the start. You would have to turn off the bike, enable auto tune, and then turn it off, and then turn it back on. This one, you could flash it and auto tune it at the same time. So I'm going to show you flash, auto tune. Once again, narrowband sensors, because that's what I got. We have OEM. This will modify the tune for auto tune and will load. The vehicle has to be connected. Continue. So now it's going to go ahead and write. You got to wait until this, of course, prompts you to go ahead and turn off the bike, and then you can hear it once again turning on and turning off, loading, flashing, all that good stuff. Now we have to turn off the bike. All right, so let's go ahead and turn the bike back on, and you'll notice now when we get into the next session of auto tuning, program vehicle auto tune, we are going to have version auto tune 36.1. If you go to data log, you'll see that everything's completely green again. So that's pretty much it as far as auto tuning. You can just keep on repeating this process until you feel that you've gotten close to its peak. So you can keep on doing this, or you can just take it to your local tuner, and he's pretty much going to do this. That's pretty much what he's going to do. He's going to set it with a certain air to fuel mix ratio. He's going to have wideband O2 sensors plugged in, so you can speed up the process, and you're pretty much done after that. And then of course, once again, you're all this information, like I said, it's from the flash plus auto tune. If you don't want to do auto tuning, then you would disable auto tune and then turn the bike off again and turn it back on, and then it'll run with the previous 3.035.0. And that's pretty much it. That's how you auto tune the bike. And so far the bike has handled significantly better from the first version that Fuel Moto gave me. A lot of the bogging down at the 2000 mark, gone. Some of the backfiring, most of it is gone. There's still some issues, but this is just something that you're gonna have to keep on auto tuning if you decide not to go with your local tuner. But like I mentioned before, it is worth the $600. Life's risk. Get out there and ride. Later.